Hey guys, it's Sadie, and if you read the title of this, it probably sounds like some crazy clickbaity thing, and it's really not clickbait. I know it sounds like I'm exaggerating or not telling the truth, but I am. This is a crazy and really scary story, so just prepare yourselves for that, and if you think you're going to be triggered by any of this and or harmed by hearing this, there's going to be mention of human trafficking, kidnapping. If any of that bothers you, then I advise that you don't watch this. But if you don't think that will bother you, then keep watching. So this all happened on Black Friday. Not like Thanksgiving night, but like during the day on Black Friday. Me and my mom went to the mall to go shopping, get some good deals because it was Black Friday and the mall was crazy busy. And I think it's important to mention that this was a pretty upper class mall. We usually don't go to it because everything there is pretty expensive, but there was a specific store that we wanted to go to. So me and my mom went there. We went to the store, and then my mom found something that she wanted to buy me for Christmas. And because my mom is extra, she didn't want to see me buying it, so she made me wait outside of the store. And I have like resting depressed face. I know it sounds weird, but my resting face, I just look sad all the time. I'll show you what I look like. So I was by myself, just kind of standing around on my phone around the holidays. So I probably looked really lonely and really sad. And this is all going to be important. Pay attention to all these details. I'm not just saying it for the sake of saying it. And then after I was standing there for a little while, this lady, my guess is she was in her 30s, 40s, around that age, and a teenage girl came up to me. And I'm only pointing out the races because it's important. The lady was Asian, and then the teenage girl looked like she might have been African American or mixed. So that means they probably weren't related unless one was adopted. But it didn't seem like a mother and her daughter. So that was kind of weird looking back. And then this lady starts talking to me about her Bible study group, and she asked me if I was interested. And I was still on my phone. I never went off my phone because I wasn't interested in her Bible study group. And so I said, no, thank you. And she kept talking to me. I was making it very clear I didn't want to talk to them. I wasn't interested. And she's like, are you sure? We have a lot of fun there. It's like, no, thank you. She goes, well, do you know about, and then it was really loud and crowded in there. I couldn't understand what she's saying. Something about like the Lady Spirit of God or the Mother of God or Mother Spirit. I couldn't understand what she was saying. And to be honest, I was interested not because I wanted to like worship whoever this like female god was or whatever, but it just, I was interested because I've never heard of her. But I didn't ask her. I wanted her to go away, and I knew my mom was gonna come out of the store and be like, "What's going on here?" And I was like, "No, thank you, no, thank you." She kept talking to me. She kept bugging me. She was very persistent, and usually religious people aren't that persistent, you know. So that it was just very odd. So, no, things just weren't right. So finally, this lady, the teenager, didn't really talk much. She was like, okay, I'll go, but please look up the Lady Spirit of God, or whatever she was talking about. She's very important to us. And I was like, okay, lady. And that was that. Later, when I met up with my mom again, we were talking. I was like, oh yeah, these like crazy religious people came up to me while you were in the store, and were trying to get me to come to their like Bible study group. I told her the whole story, and she got upset by this only because I was kind of being harassed, and they wouldn't leave when I kept asking them to. So she wanted me to talk to security, and I was like, come on. Like, I was embarrassed. I was like, they were fine. They're just, like, religious. Like, people are just like that. Like, I didn't want to talk to the security guard and get them in trouble. It didn't bother me that much. My mom insisted that I talk to their security officer, and there were a lot there because the mall was really crowded at the time. So we found a security officer in the mall, told him what happened, and he took it really seriously. You know, I thought we'd just be brushed off. Like, okay, okay, I'll keep an eye out for them. Because, and he kept asking like, what were they wearing? Do you know what they were wearing? And I didn't know what they were wearing. I wasn't really paying attention to them. I wanted them to go away. I never went off my phone. So I gave them a description of what they looked like, but I told them I have no idea what they were wearing. And then we walked away. And then as we were walking out of the mall, my mom just went, you know what? This might have been human traffickers. And at first I was like, you're crazy. Like, no, it was just some religious lady who has a youth group or something. Maybe a cult at the worst. Like, I don't think it was human traffickers. Like, why? No one was trying to kidnap me. I didn't believe that at the time. But then the more I thought about it, the more I started thinking, you know, my mom might be right. I live in Florida, and Florida is one of the biggest states for sex trafficking, human trafficking. People get kidnapped in Florida all the time, especially my city, and it's most common in malls. So if you look at the facts, it was actually likely that this happened. But of course, you never think it's going to happen to you or that something like that did almost happen to you. You never think that. So time passed. I told the story to a couple people. A couple of people were like, no, you weren't being kidnapped. That's stupid. Blah, 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 blah. And I was thinking, yeah, that might have been human traffickers. But I honestly didn't know. And I wasn't sure. And then just the other day, my friend Tara tagged me on this thing on Instagram of a girl who tweeted about this, and her story that she told on Twitter was exactly what happened to me. And then that girl said she Googled, and it turns out it was the Mother of God, I think, or something like that. When she Googled it, that all this stuff about human trafficking came up, and apparently this is their biggest ploy right now, is to talk about like a study group and ask you to go to it and tell you about the Mother of God. And the next step is they would have asked my phone number. I'm so glad I didn't give them my phone number just to like please them or something, because a lot of times what you do is to get these religious people to stop talking because you don't want them talking to you. But the fact that human traffickers could have gotten my phone number, or if I was actually interested in this Bible study group, that I could have shown up to wherever they told me to go and they could have kidnapped me and I would have been a sex slave, is so terrifying to me. And, you know, they targeted me because I looked like a lonely teenager by herself, and that's who they go after. They go people who are insecure and depressed and sad, because those are the easiest targets. And I did research on my own. I googled the Mother of God, and all these like websites were saying that this is their biggest ploy and that this happens all the time, and to like warn people. And that's so, yeah, I almost got kidnapped, and that's so terrifying to me. Like, those were sex traffickers. Like, that actually happened. I can't process it. It's so scary. And I just keep thinking, like, I hope the cop found these people, because that was a sex trafficker, that lady, and I wish I could have done more to make sure she got caught, because that could have stopped it. That could have stopped people from getting kidnapped. But of course I didn't know at the time, and there wasn't much I could tell the cops. The fact that like I interacted with one of the people kidnapping girls and using them for like sex trade, and it like keeps me up at night thinking about this stuff. It's just so scary. So if something like this happens to you, I hate that they use religion, but if it's someone talking about religion or a study group, please be suspicious and use your instincts. If something doesn't seem to be adding up, like in this situation, or it just doesn't feel right, then your instincts are probably right, and better safe than sorry. And this is just proof that this stuff happens. It really does. Like, you hear about it and you're like, I won't fall for that. It's not like people luring you into vans or like grabbing you anymore. They're smart and they do it in different ways. So you have to be careful about this, especially if you're a female and especially if you're by yourself. So you really need to keep an eye out for this stuff. And after it's happened to me, I did more research on my own about other ways that they lure people in for human trafficking. And I found that lots of times they put up signs, like, for jobs saying, like, oh, I need teenagers' help, I'll pay teenagers to help do this, blah, blah, and you show up and they kidnap you, and it's terrifying. Like, you'd see a sign and be like, oh, yeah, it's fine. You never think that you're gonna get kidnapped. So if something like that seems suspicious, then go for your gut, or I don't know. Just be careful. That's the main point of this video, because this stuff can happen, and it really woke me up, you know. So yeah, that's the time I almost got kidnapped by human traffickers, and it's crazy. I'll leave some links to articles, but if you want to share those or this video with other people, I highly suggest that you do that, because I really want to spread the word and make sure this doesn't happen to anyone else. Or, you know, they weren't successful with me, thank God. I want to make sure that they aren't successful with other people. So thank you for watching. Be safe, guys.